See, last time we just the studying about think, not thinking. Think, not thinking. This is very important aspect as far as the practicing Dharma, as far as the realize, as far as realizing who we are. But unfortunately, even the Shakyamuni Buddha or Patriarch just want to teach what the think, not thinking. It's very easy. It's very easy. But if we just care much about thinking, see, it's a totally difficult to know much about what it is. See, think, not thinking. See, when I face this, see, when I face this, see, without thinking, I just simply become as it is. I simply, Tom-san, how do I do? How do I do? So, what Tom-san's most favorite expression is think, not thinking. Think, not thinking. See, it's your favorite expression. Yeah. For person, as I just mentioned, for person who just care much about, who attach the thinking and thought, it's a totally difficult, but it's very easy, very easy. When I face this, see, I simply become as it is, without thinking, without doing anything, without self. See, I simply become as it is. This is not thinking. Ah, Fudo-san, you are Fudo-san. Okay. Oh, you are monk. Greatest monk in the universe. You are greatest monk in the universe. So this is not thinking. See, when I just face this, I simply become as it is, without doing anything, without thinking. I simply become as it is. See? Then Master Dong is just teach. Okay, how you can just think of it. See, nothing. See, I simply become as it is. This is another thinking. See? Activity. See, without thinking, not thinking. See? How you can think, not thinking. See? This is something. This is it. When I face this, I simply become as it is. Then people say, try to think, not thinking. People try to do it. All the people try to do it. That is not total misunderstanding. Total misunderstanding. We are already become not thinking. Always become not thinking. Without thinking, we can do everything. Without thinking, we can do everything. This comes up first, and then we just recognize the things, and the things just come out. That's later. But at the same time, we just recognize this one as I or a self. That's the reason there is certain separation between this and this. That's the reason, even you just try to think of what's what's the what's the think not thinking. You cannot do it because there is a certain separation between and this and this. Before recognition, there is nothing separation. There is nothing separation between this and that. So you don't need to do anything. You simply become as it is. That is not thinking. See? You just sit. You just sit. The whatever thinking just come out. Thinking and thoughts come out. See, you don't know what, you don't need to do anything. Simply just as it is. Simply just as it is. See? Whatever just thinking and thoughts come out in your mind. Simply let it go as it is. This is think, not thinking. Will be understandable. Very great. See, this way, if you can do a zazen, eventually you'll be able to you'll be able to realize who you are. Only this way, then. As long as you just try to think about who we are, totally impossible to do it. You see, whatever thinking or thought come out in our mind without any reason, without any reason. So you don't need to care much about it at all. Simply let it go as it is. See, this is think, not thinking. Hi. Will be understandable. Very easy. Although it's so for person who just care much about, or for person who attach thinking or thought, it's a totally difficult. See, not person who doesn't care much about thinking. Very easy. Very. See, this much. See, this much to think, to figure out the things what it is by thinking cause us trouble. See? We don't need to do anything, simply as it is. Then we know much about everything without doing anything, without thinking. See? This totally tremendous, but people never understand it. See what it is, even in concept. See, that's the reason we have to do a zazen. We don't, no one understands it. No one understands it without thinking, without thinking. See, without thinking. See, think of what's going to happen without thinking. think of what's going to happen. What's going to happen. That's not right here. Without thinking. Very easy. But people never understand it. Yeah, that's the reason we have to do a zazen. Okay. So continue. We just want to talk about this. Very great. Okay. So we go back to today's the take is number 15. the the definition of a kokoro. Kokoro is Japanese. That's a full thing. That's funny. But the kokoro is Japanese. And definition of kokoro, the meaning of kokoro in Japanese is a mind, heart, spirit, whatever. See, it doesn't matter. The thing is what kokoro is, what mind is. You see, the meaning of the expression of kokoro, or it doesn't matter. See, what kokoro is, what the mind is. This is a very important thing. See, what's kokoro, what's the mind, doesn't care much. It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Doesn't. Oh, it doesn't matter. What it means. What's the important thing is what's kokoro, what's the mind is. If you can just realize that, you never have any trouble. Okay, so what Jinen Roshi just want to teach us with number 15, the definition of a kokoro. See, well, he just wanna teach what's the definition of a kokoro. That's it, as I just mentioned. That is another important thing. The thing is, what is mind? What is kokoro? See, this is a very important thing. Otherwise, see, we cannot have a so-called mutual understanding, even in a concept. That's the reason we have to know much about the mind or kokoro, what the kokoro is. Then we can have a mutual understanding. Otherwise, each person have a different the kokoro, or in another definition of the different the kokoro. So we never be able to understanding. See, we never have a mutual understanding at all. See, that's the reason we have to know much about. We have to understand what the kokoro is. At the first step to realize full years. Okay, the kokoro, mind, heart, spirit, that one defines oneself is useless. Why is it useless? Each person has a different idea as far as what the kokoro is. So that's the reason we cannot have a mutual understanding. See, even some scholar says this is a kokoro. He just defined it. But see, even scholar just define it, but each person has each person accept it as a different way. See, so that we cannot have the mutual understanding. See, what's understanding about what's a kokoro is. But see, as far as the Shakyamuni Buddha's realization, it's very clear. It's a very clear thing. We never know much about anything, but we know much about what kokoro is. That is Shakyamuni Buddha's realization. See, Shakyamuni Buddha's realization is nothing concerned with thinking. That's the reason. Everybody can understand what Kokoro is. See, this is the most important thing. Okay, so the Kokoro, that's one defines oneself is useless. You think that the function of thinking within oneself is your mind, don't you? See, we are thinking about, what the Kokoro mind, is by thinking. So each person have a different definition or different idea of thinking, the Kokoro or mind. That's the reason. See, it's totally difficult to understand it. Each person had a different idea. But as I just mentioned, once the Shakyamuni Buddha's realization is, see, everybody, everybody easily to understand it. See, understand what the mind, Kokoro is. This is the most important, and this is the best way we will be able to understand what the Kokoro is, even in concept. Okay. So that is a definition. That is a definition of mind that you yourself have created by thinking. This Kokoro doesn't mean anything. Totally useless. See, totally useless. See, although the Jinen Roshi just doesn't want to just teach us what's the definition of mind or Kokoro. See, what he just want to teach us is what's the difference between thinking and reality. This is things Master Gian just want to teach us. He just well, for him it doesn't matter whether we'll be able to understand the difference between the definition of Kokoro or mind or not. Doesn't matter. But he just wanna teach us the difference between thinking and reality. He just wanna teach us with this number 15 is the definition of Kokoro. Okay, if we don't understand the definition of Kokoro by Shakyamuni Buddha and the other enlightened one, discrepancy will arise. What people thinking about, as I just mentioned before. Each person has a different idea. But what the Shakyamuni Buddha said, the Kokoro is different. Everyone, when I clap my hand, everybody becomes different. No doubt. See, without thinking, you simply become different. This is Shakyamuni Buddha's. See? Shakyamuni Buddha's what's the Kokoro is, what's the mind is. See? You never have any doubt. You never have any doubt. You never have any question. I see when I just clap my hand, it simply become this sound without doing anything. You never be, you never be, you never have any mistake. You never have any mistaking. Everybody become this sound. This much, see, reality is reality is nothing concerned with thinking. Reality is nothing concerned with thinking. That's why we never have any trouble, with any confused. Simply just become everybody. This is Kokoro, this is mind. Everybody can have a mutual understanding. Very great. See? But unfortunately, people don't know much about this. So that's the reason we have to do and others. This is a Kokoro. See? Whatever you're thinking about, everything, anything. See, when I clap on my hand, you simply become this sound as it is. So without doing anything, this is such a wondrous thing, wondrous and tremendous. See, without doing anything, we can do everything. Very good. That is the essential aspect. That is the kokoro. That is the mind. Yeah? If we don't understand, if we don't understand the definition of kokoro by Shakyamuni Buddha and the other enlightened ones, this discrepancies will arise. Even if we are talking about the same kokoro, we cannot share the same understanding. Kokoro, as the patriarch said, always comes out the way it should. Always comes out the way it should. When I clap my hand, this really comes out this sound. Come on, this sound. Without doing anything. Why do you have to be? People don't know much about this reality. Very important. This is a basic. This is a basic aspect of this. Without realizing this aspect, this reality, even we do anything, even we can do anything, doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because we don't know much about who we are. This is the most important thing. Although very simple. Very simple. But nobody knows much about what it is. This is the activity of our essential self. Dharma. Dharma. Okay. Kokoro just as when you went to the Hondo, the main temple building, Hondo, main, so the main building, main temple building, face the pillar, and how the chanting or the sutra. There is no discrepancy, no mistake. It is always as it is. Always as it is. The things, everything just come out on this body. This body is not a human body. This is a Dharma body. Everything just come out on this body without doing anything. Then we don't know. We don't need to do anything. We can know much about we can know much about what's going on. See, without thinking. See, without thinking, we know much about everything, what's going on right now. See? Yeah. See? That is a Dhamma. That is a Kokoro, mind. See? But people never understand it. See? That's much. That's much. The essential, that's much the essential self is nothing concerned with what we think of the self. See? Our activity is, as Master Dogen just teach us, our activity is complete and universal, not human, human activity. See? Not human activities, nothing concerned with thinking. See? Before thinking come out in our mind, we are completely acting and the end. See? But people never, never ever understand this reality. See? Without doing anything, we can simply just act. See? Just like a baby, just like a baby, just like an animal. See? Exactly same thing. Without thinking, without doing anything. The animal is just acting. See? Baby just acting. See? We even we adult people are just acting. See? Not much. People completely misunderstand. Completely misunderstand that misunderstand what we are doing. That's the reason. Shakyamuni Buddha will just recommend us to do that. Only one chance within our life. We have to do it. Okay. Even if we are talking about the same Kokoro, we cannot share the same understanding Kokoro as the patriarchs said, always comes out the way it should. People has a different idea of Kokoro and mind. See? That's the reason people are always just confused, or people always fight or conflict. Yeah. But if the people has it, if people can have a same mutual understanding about the Kokoro, we never have any trouble. We never have any trouble. See, as as I just mentioned before, see, what's a Kokoro? What's a mind is? See, what's a mind is see, everything is one. One is everything. So, that is nothing concerned with trouble. See, fighting. Everything is one. Everything is one. See, one is everything is one. One is everything. So we don't have any trouble. See, we don't have any confusion, and we don't need to fight with each other, because everything is one. One is everything. That's much. The essential self is, it says, the essential self is so peaceful. Peace itself. So we don't need to have any trouble, any fighting. See? Very great. But people never know much about this reality. unfortunately. Okay. So, Kokoro, we can also, even if we talking about the same Kokoro, we cannot share the same understanding Kokoro. As the patriarchs said, always comes out the way it should. It always comes. Everybody become one. Everybody become this son. Everybody become this son. This son become everybody. Very easy, but for the person who care much about or who attached the thinking, quite much, never understand it, even in concept. Okay, that's the whole problem. That's the whole problem. Okay, what we have to figure out. There is no there is no discrepancy, no mistake. It's always as it is. Very great. See? Nothing more or less, but as it is. And everything's complete and without anything, without any so that's much ourself is. The essential is so complete and universal. Nothing left at all, as it is. And complete and nothing left at all. And that's the reason we never have any trouble. Okay. So, he said, just as when you went to the Honda, the main temple building, face the pillar, and heard the chanting of the sutra. There is no discrepancy, no mistake. It's always as it is. It's always when I see this, see, I simply become as it is. See, as it is. When I see this, I simply become as it is without doing it. Only this activity. Only this activity. Nothing more or less. What we think about the kind of the happening or activity in our mind is a total misunderstanding. That's a delusion. That's kind of activity we never done before. Always when I face this, I simply become as it is. When I face this, I simply become this. You see, this quite much certain activity. See, only this activity. See, everything has been done as it is. There's nothing, nothing left at all. See? This is the reality of the universe. What the scholar or the scientists think of what the universe is totally different from this reality. That's a creation of thinking, not a truth. Okay. This is what is known as Kokoro or mind. There is no existence. There is no existence without oneself. There are all the activity of self, but no other activity. This whole activity is called Kokoro or mind. or heart or spirit, whatever he just name it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't make any difference. But it's a very simple. When I face this, see, I simply become as it is, see, without doing anything. See? Only this activity, in another word, see, those things, everything, you may say, everything just comes out. So on this body, see, this body is not a human body. This one is a Dharma body. Everything just come out on this body. See, without doing anything, without center. See, in other words, without self. Everything just come out on this body, and then comes out and disappears. Nothing left at all. That's it. That's the reality of a whole universe. See? Very great. Very great. See? That's the reason how they just, that's the reason. See? Shakyamuni Buddha or that patriarchs just recommend us to do that. See? Only that you'll be able to know much, you'll be able to realize this reality. That's much, that is so great. So great. So, but see, you have to be very careful. See? Even you just try to do as others for 1,000 years. See, if you just if you don't know much about, see, the way of a dozen, see, how to do dozen, see, you never be able to just encounter. You never be able to encounter the essential self. So as Master Dogen that teaches in the universal recommendation for Zazen. See, what whatever just thinking or thought come out in our mind. See, simply let it go as it is. This doesn't. See, you never care much about the reason why the kind of thinking or thought come out in your mind. You don't need to think of. You don't need to think of it at all. Simply just let it go as it is. That's a totally enough. See? This nothing you do. The more you do this nothing, see? There is no separation. There is no separation between this and that. See? The invention. See? You never know much about anything. See? Totally. You cannot recognize. You cannot recognize anything. See? That is without separation between this and that. And then you'll be able to encounter the essential self. This much we have to do as others. This much we just let the thinking thought out as it is. Then you'll be able to just definitely you'll be able to encounter the essential self. Oh, this is totally different from what we think of the self. You see, that's the Shakyamuni Buddha's realization. Although it's easy to say, but it totally difficult. But see, if you just want to have the complete satisfaction with everything. See, you have to do it. Okay. Okay. This is what known as kokoro, mind. See, but see, knowing much about the meaning of kokoro or mind doesn't matter. See, you simply just realize what kokoro is. What kokoro is. See, what kokoro is. So once you just become this sound, then you'll be able to know, you'll be able to just realize, you'll be able to realize what's the kokoro, what's the mind is. Otherwise, it's totally impossible. See, once you just become there, once you just become these things, as it is, any kind of thing, any kind of things is possible. Any kind of is possible. Once what you think about the self completely dropped, so you simply become as it is. This experience, you may say, this experience, at least we need to understand, to just realize who we are. As long as the kind of the self still exists, there is a certain separation between this and that. That's the reason you never know much about. You never just realize who you are. See, once what you think about the self, think about the self, dropped away. As a Master Dogen just teaches, the more you do that, the more you just become the things you just face. Then naturally, without awareness, what we think of the body and the mind dropped away. And then see, the essential just come out. Like, see, the essential self come out. Whatever you just face, that's the essential self right now. That's he. That's what people never understand in reality. That's the reason we have to do. We have to do another. Okay. When a lily is in bloom, it smells of lily. When I face this, I simply become as it is, without doing anything. See? When I face lily, lily, the smell of lily just come out on this body, without doing anything. See? Very, very tremendous. Yeah? But people never understand. It's see when a lily in bloom, it smells of a lily. So I simply become the smell of a lily. I simply become a smell of a lily. That is the essential of self. Not this one. Not this one. See? Okay. That is a Dharma. That is a Dharma. That is the essential of self. It is a rule, but But we have to do, we have to be, you see, nothing, we have to be without without concerning of thinking, without concerning of thinking, with even you just try to, even you just try to resist it, you're never able to do it. That's much. See, the our activity or the essential self, nothing concerns thinking. Thinking, although thinking is a part of activity of the universe. See? So also thinking is a universal activity. The people think of it as a human activity. That's a total misunderstanding. Okay, so it is a rule. So we have, even you just try to do it, anything, but you cannot do it. We have to follow the things that's going on, as going on. We have to follow what's what's going on as going on. But people always try to resist it, or people always try to resist it. It causes us trouble, question, problems. Okay, it is beyond. It's beyond human thought, without exception. Without exception. See? We have to follow. See? We have to follow what's going on here without thinking. Okay. If you can do it, you never have any trouble. If you can do it, you never have any trouble. But as I just mentioned, people always try to resist, resist it. That's a cause of trouble. Okay, we really want to know the truth. Maybe there is a true way of being. We cannot stop craving. We cannot stop craving. See, once that flame is extinguished, extinguished, you will attain Buddhahood. As far as thinking, we always try to do it. Try to do. See, always try to do. Because we don't know much about because we don't know much about what's essential self is. That's really put a things in front of you, and you try to become the things you just put on in your front in your in your front. You already just try to do try to do it. See, it's a totally useless. You don't need to put anything in front of you, and you don't need to try to do anything, because when you put the things, when you put the things uh, as you just wanna be, see, wanna do, when I put it, you simply become agitated. You don't need to do anything. See? When you put the thing, you simply become agitated. Always done it. People don't know much about it. Already, people just try to do. See, totally useless. This is very important. See, when you think about what you just want to be, then Yes, you simply become as you just want to be. And you don't need to try to do anything. People don't know much about this. See? So always try to do trust. It's called the strap. See? This kind of intention. People never just will be able to stop. That's called the trouble. If you don't not to do anything, not to do, so it's not a, it's a totally useless. It's a if you just think of the kind of the trying to do intentionally to do anything is totally useless. Then you become you simply become Buddha. Yeah? This one is already, and this one is already just as the Dogen just teaches, Master Dogen is complete and universal condition. So we don't need to do anything. But people don't know much about this reality. That's why people always try to do some, try to do as what we think of as, as, as we think of what we want to be, what we want to do. This is totally useless. As I just mentioned, when you try to put the things, you see, as you just want to be, when you just put it, then you simply just become as it is. So you don't need to do anything. People don't know much about this reality. Okay, that's cause that's trouble. Okay, as we hear voices with our ears, in the end, those voices are still within the scope of the thinking. This is a very important thing. When I clap my hand, what do people think of? Because Jinen just clapping or clapped his hand. Then sounds come out. This is totally misunderstanding. When I clap my hand and the voice, the sound come out, and, and nothing else at all. Then just the after that is only the ears is just activity. Nothing concerned with what Jinen and down Jinen has done. What sound come out doesn't mean anything. That nothing related with those things. Simply just the reality of ears. See, there is no separation. There is no separation. See? The sound and ear. There is no separation. See? Sounds simply become ear. Ears itself. There is no separation between sound and ear. But as far as thinking is concerned, there is a certain separation between sound and ear. That's it. See, I hear the voices. I hear it. This is total misunderstanding. That comes That comes out later. That is within thinking. That is not the reality. Reality is just end. Just end. Nothing left at all. People never understand that. Okay, that's the reason we have to do a zazen. What's a zazen need? What's a zazen need? What's a zazen need? See? Think of, think of, think of not thinking. Very good. See? Think of, or think, not think. Always, without thinking. Always without thinking. See? Without thinking. See? We simply become as it is. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to do anything. See? Once you are completely unnecessary to do anything. Once you are completely unnecessary to do anything, then you become Buddha. That's it. That's nothing. People never understand it. So that whatever thinking or thought come out in their mind, simply just let it go as it is. This doesn't. For time being, constantly continue to do that. This doesn't. Then eventually, you never know much about anything. Then you'll be able to encounter the essential self. That's much we'd like to ask you to do that. Hi, thank you so much. Then one more thing. Whenever have any question, please send an email. Otherwise, for you, it takes a long time. So simply just send an email. Please do so. So that is much easier and the fastest way to just to attend for you. Hi. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup. So much. はい。ありがとうございます。